Poppy Playtime 4. The Final Curse. Chapter 1. The Message from the Past. It had been months since the protagonist, a former Playtime Co employee, barely escaped the horrors of the toy factory. The nightmares still haunted them. Visions of Huggy Wuggy's terrifying grin, the shrieks of Mommy Longlegs, and the eerie whispers of Poppy. But despite everything, one thought never left their mind. The factory was still alive. One night, a mysterious package arrived at their doorstep. No return address, no markings, just an old, dust-covered VHS tape. A sticky note was attached. "Come back. The truth is deeper than you think. Poppy." A cold shiver ran down their spine. Against all logic, against every instinct screaming at them to run far away, they inserted the tape into an old TV. The static cleared, revealing a dimly lit room within the factory. Poppy stood in the center, her once innocent eyes now filled with desperation. "I made a mistake. I freed them. But he was waiting. He's awake now. You have to stop him before it's too late." The screen flickered, revealing a massive underground chamber filled with shadows moving unnaturally. A deep, rumbling voice echoed through the speakers. "I have waited long enough. It's time to play." Then, blackness. Chapter 2. The Forgotten Facility. Unable to ignore the warning, the protagonist returned to Playtime Co. The factory looked the same, abandoned, decayed. But something was different. A new metal door stood where there was once only a collapsed wall. Rusted, dented, yet recently unlocked. As they stepped inside, a metallic voice echoed through hidden speakers. "Welcome to Prototype Lab 09. Enjoy your stay." The air grew colder as they descended into the depths of the factory. This was no ordinary toy production area. The walls were lined with broken test tubes, old files detailing failed experiments, and scribbled warnings left by long-gone employees. Subject X-001, failure. Subject X-002, too unstable. Subject X-003, missing. Then, on the final page, two chilling words, X-004, perfected. Suddenly, a guttural growl rumbled from the darkness. Something was awake, and it knew they were here. Chapter 3. The Toy King Awakens. A loud crash echoed through the halls as an enormous shadow emerged. It was unlike any toy they had seen before. A monstrous fusion of broken experiments, mismatched limbs stitched together, with glowing red eyes that burned with rage. This was the Toy King. "You should not have come back," it rumbled, its voice deep and layered with multiple tones. "Now, you will never leave." The chase began. The protagonist ran through the twisting corridors of the underground facility, barely avoiding the massive, clawed hands swiping at them. Every turn led to new horrors, twisted, half-finished toys that twitched and whispered their names. Finally, they stumbled into an old control room. Desperate, they searched for a way to stop the nightmare. That's when they found it. A blueprint labeled The Eraser, Chapter 4. The Eraser's Secret. The blueprint described a machine built to do the unthinkable. Erase the sentience of every living toy. It was meant to be Playtime Co's failsafe, designed in secret when their experiments became uncontrollable. But there was a catch. Activating it required a power core, one hidden inside the Toy King itself. "If I destroy it, I end this nightmare." Just then, the room trembled. The Toy King had found them. No more running, little one. The final battle began. Chapter 5. The Final Choice. Dodging and weaving through the ruined facility, the protagonist lured the Toy King toward the eraser. The creature roared, its eyes flashing with fury. Every toy in the factory began to awaken. their voices joining in a haunting chorus. Save us. Destroy him. Don't trust her. At the last moment, the protagonist ripped open the Toy King's chest, revealing the glowing core inside. With one final strike, they tore it free and slammed it into the machine. The eraser activated. A brilliant light filled the room. The Toy King let out a horrifying scream as its body disintegrated into dust. Across the factory, the other toys collapsed, their once unnatural movements finally coming to an end. It was over. Or so they thought. Chapter 6. The Hand in the Dark. As the protagonist made their way toward the exit, a faint whisper echoed behind them. You forgot something. Turning slowly, they saw Poppy, standing in the ruins of the lab. But something was wrong. Her eyes were no longer desperate. They were cold. Calculating. You did well, she said, smiling eerily. Now, it's my turn to play. The screen faded to black. To be continued.